my roots go back a long way. My grandmother first came here, and then her 2 daughters came here, and one of them, of course, was my mother. And, of course, she brought my sister and I, who were both christened here. And then, of course, I brought my husband here, and I brought my children here. And now I've got my grandchildren who come occasionally. Of course, years ago, we all went to church or chapel. It was just the thing, but they don't these days. But still, when they come, I think they have the feeling as I do. I love this old chapel. I have been to other services of churches and chapels, but I always feel I want to come back here. Well, I have always come back here. And it gives me a peace that passeth all understanding. I think that's what it gives me, and the minister has often said that. I can tell you, I mean, my mother used to say she remembered when the carriages came outside. And of course we had rented seats in those days. The notable people in Leicester used to come here, and of course it was mostly in the mornings, but in the evening, of course, when I came with my mother, you could sit pretty well anywhere. But we had a wonderful choir, and of course I've been blessed with the voices my mother and father both sang, and I was very lucky to have lessons here, because we had a Leicester music teacher here, a singing teacher, and she used to give a scholarship to the children of the Sunday school if she thought they were worth training. And my sister won it 1 year and was given 2 years a scholarship, as we called it, and I had it for 2 years as well. So it's been wonderful and helped me. I came here as a choir, and of course I've sang solos here, which I've loved.
I'm Peter Soulsby, and I've been a member here at Great Meeting Chapel, Leicester, for must be at least 25 years now, but wasn't always a Unitarian, wasn't brought up as a Unitarian. I was brought up actually in the Methodist tradition, but then didn't go to church for many, many years. And one day I was passing this chapel and I saw something on one of the wayside pulpits. And I really can't remember what it was. But whatever it was, I think, prompted me to think that, well, perhaps this was something a bit different. And of course it is a bit different, because this is a chapel where we enjoy fellowship, where we can worship together, where we can have praise together and have time together. But it's also a chapel where, I like to say, we as Unitarians can ask the difficult questions rather than just look for the easy answers. And I now feel today, 25 years later, in pretty much the way I felt when I first came through the doors, that coming here to this chapel was coming home. Coming home to a community that thinks for itself, a community that knows that there aren't easy answers in life, knows that there are difficult questions in life, and knows that we face those difficult questions best when we do it together. And what I found here is, of course, not just that friendship, not just that fellowship, not just that worship, but also, I'll be honest, inspirational leadership from Arthur, our minister. He really is somebody who helps us to be together as a community, but also challenges us. He's also somebody who, I think, helps us to explore our spiritual journey. And that's pretty much how I feel what I'm on. It is a journey. It isn't something where I've arrived. I may have arrived at somewhere where I feel at home, but spiritually there's still a long way to go. And I'm delighted to be a part of this congregation and to be part of our common journey together here at Great Meeting Leicester.
Hello, I'm Michael Drucker, and I come to Great Meeting Chapel, Leicester. I find it a place where I feel very much at home for the Sunday services. I like it because it's not at all dogmatic. It doesn't tell me here what to think. I can follow a faith which doesn't have a creed or a book, but does have certain underlying principles, so that you have a framework, but not necessarily a rule book. I also like it because it's a wonderful building. It's historic in Leicester, and I think it should be preserved, and I want to help it to be preserved. And I love the way that Unitarianism has such deep connections to nonconformism and free thinking.